All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you're at. I want to thank you for checking out the Cali Truck Stop Theater. I'm out here in Texas. Um, I forgot where about. Let's see, maybe I can find out here. Hold on. Oh, it's like I don't know, Kewanna, Texas, or something like that. I don't know. Look like somebody. The way that his name it seems like some sounds like some black people done named the city. Sound like a black girl's name. Anyways, I hope everybody's doing all right. Um, I hope you're all safe. We've been experiencing some troubling times this year, especially last week over the Memorial Day weekend. And we all know about George Floyd, and there was some others that have also passed on because of police officers' misconduct, and it's been tough for a lot of people. And I hadn't been like really checking out the news and checking out the details of this of these things up until recently, where obviously George Floyd just pretty much put the icing on the cake for everybody. But when I was watching some of these news clips and things like that, I started getting caught up in all the little hype and stuff like that, right? But I chilled out and I took a breath, and I wanted to just wanted to talk some more about my thoughts. And so, like, these are my thoughts. You don't have to you don't need to embrace them or whatever. But it's just things that I'm getting out, getting off of my mind, and so if you saw my other videos, I was mentioning so much about how how these people are wrong for doing all the protesting and looting, but also I was talking about how those police officers were doubly down wrong for being involved with George Floyd's death. I don't people are trying to bring up or people are trying to bring up things were like, George Floyd, he had drugs in the system and all this kind of stuff, and people that you got people that are trying to justify why the officers did what they did, and in all actuality, it doesn't matter what George Floyd was accused of doing, accused of having, or whatever. It does not justify him being. It does not justify him dying the way that he died. It doesn't justify that one bit. I don't care. Okay, the way that our country is designed to work, and the only way that it works is if people start first of all get educated about what the system is all about, and learn to use it to your ability. But people have to know how the system works in order for it to work effectively. Thus far I don't really see anything wrong with with the way that our system is set up. Most of the problem lies with the person's knowledge of how to use the system. So the way that our system is set up is that in order to find somebody guilty, you have to go and settle the matter in court, okay? And also the accuser, the defendant's going to be there, but the accuser of that defendant has to be present in court as well to solidify the accusations against the defendant. This is how justice is to be served, whether it's jail time, a fine, or even in the extreme cases where they must die for their crimes. Okay, and the problem is that the police officers are not the ones to administer judgment and death. Okay, they're not even authorized to what's the word that I'm looking for? I keep missing my words. I need to go back in the dictionary and start reading my words and be a big boy again. But even the police are not able to judge a person and charge them for a said crime or for an accusation. All that they do is they submit complaints into the court for the court to decide whether or not that this person should be charged. Only thing that the officer is entitled to do is to recognize that a fault has been committed, and they have to bring that complaint to the court to be hashed out. That's how it's supposed to work. Now, there are some times where it doesn't work, and that's just because of one person's lack of knowledge of how the system works versus the person who is fairly savvy with the knowledge, and so that those things play a big deal in whether or not justice gets served and gets served properly. So my heart goes out to to the George Floyd family, and also anybody who who felt a certain kind of way watching this man die. I mean, I saw the video. I didn't look at it right away, but I ended up seeing the video to see what everybody was all up in arms about. And to see this man die on video, it does something to you if you are in tune with people. If you have a certain level of empathy, if you're sensitive to these subjects, you're going to feel a certain type of way. You're going to feel the sorrow. You're going to feel some sort of pain, But on the other spectrum, you got people that don't give a shit about what happened. They're just whatever, another black man. I mean, they're gonna make another one. All these stupid remarks and stuff like that. It is sad, and so I was pretty heated. Well, you probably wouldn't have thought that by looking at the videos. I might not have been, flipping over tables and screaming at the top of my lungs and all that kind of stuff. But I had a certain level of irritation and anger that was welled up in me, because what was done to George was wrong. It was wrong, and based upon the video evidence that the media has been showing, it didn't look like he was doing a lot of resisting. I mean, there was a couple of scenes where they walking on the sidewalk and stuff like that, and George is all handcuffed and stuff. But how he ended up behind or out in the middle of the street behind the car, the squad car, I didn't catch that portion of the video. But I remember the officers talking about, stop resisting. And I'm like, what is he resisting from? Who is he resisting? Because what I saw was a man on his stomach with his hands behind his back, and he had handcuffs on. At least that's what it appeared to be, handcuffs. I mean, his hand was behind his back, and the vehicle was blocking the rest of the way. But you know, he after being in that position, there's no resisting. Oh, also the big detail, dude had the cop. His name was Derek. He had his knee in the back of George's head. So there is no resisting. I mean, what was he resisting for? And they were saying this over and over again. And I know why they say this, because they're trying to put it on the video, on the audio, so that they can try and use that, saying that he was resisting arrest. Okay, because that will help their case out, trying to justify why they put this man on the ground instead of in the police car. And they're trying to build a case to where it's like, well, he died because he kept resisting, and that's not, that didn't look like that was happening. He was already restrained. He was on the ground. There's nothing that he can resist when he's face first on the ground down there. So there's nothing that he can resist on. So that whole argument is out the window. He wasn't resisting arrest. We all saw that. We all know that. Now, the other thing that I did, I just saw this just a little while ago, but the young lady that filmed the whole thing, she's like what, 16, 17 years old, something like that. She filmed the whole incident, and news reports are coming out saying that people are criticizing her and bullying her online for videotaping this incident. Which I'm like, why the hell are y'all criticizing her? I've heard comments like, you should have been out there you should have, instead of filming, you should have, instead of filming, you should have done something to try and help him from dying. These stupid comments, And she's like, wait a second, hold up. First of all, according to this report, she was laying it out, but in the background, she was like, feeling she's been stressed out. She's developing some sort of complex because everybody's pressuring her and talking bad about her because of her actions. Which I think that her actions was 101% correct. Okay, but these people were and this is what upsets me about these type of people. They're over here talking about what you should have done, but if they was in that same position, I doubt that they would have done more than what was already done. Because, first of all, it's not some regular old citizen on the street, to where you see somebody getting choked out. You see two people just fighting it out on the street, and one's getting choked out. It's not like you just go out there and break up the fight. These are the police officers that you're seeing out here. Okay, they got weapons. They're trained they're trained to a certain degree in close quarters combat, and they also have the power of the law behind them. So, there's a lot of things to consider in thinking about what to do. I'm sure that she was thinking that, that's what she should do, is to, I'm sure she was thinking that that's the best course of action, is to get the guys off of him. But putting into account the, first of all, there was more than one cop there. Um, the big decision maker there was that these are all police officers, which means that they have the power of the law behind them, and if they feel that you are violating that law, they will go ahead and they will deal with you, and they will make your time a living hell per se. So you got that. They're police officers. They have weapons. They are trained in close quarters combat to some degree, some level. Plus, you have the thoughts running in your head, well, I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to have to deal with the courts. I don't want to get convicted for assault and all this kind of stuff. But even more serious than that, they didn't want to end up on the ground like George, and they don't want a knee in the back of their head to where they're suffocating. That's just going to cause, so instead of just having one person down there dying, now you got, 3 or 4 people down there, dying on the ground, so, but she's like, look, you got all these different things going in this situation. These are police officers. I'm 17 years old. I'm a female at that, a female 17-year-old, and she's like, I was scared, I was scared of the whole situation. And that's understandable. You're seeing somebody getting choked out, and you panic because you don't know what to do. It's not like some regular Joe Schmo that if you got involved, you're not necessarily going to be the one that's going to be charged with assault by that person. Chances are that's not going to happen. Not like it will with a police officer, but she was scared. She didn't know what to do. So the only thing that she can think to do, which was the right thing in this situation, was to pull out the phone and start videotaping. And there's nothing wrong with that. But those people who were like, you were stupid, or whatever the comments were, you should have intervened and did all that kind of stuff. That don't listen to that. That was bad advice, and like I said, it would have ended up you getting put in jail, bruised, battered, even could have been killed along with George. So that, and these people are not gonna, if they was in that same situation, they wasn't gonna lift a finger to rectify the situation either. So, but I do commend her for trying to for standing up for herself, but the backlash on this is taking a toll on her, and that's wrong. That is totally wrong, But I guarantee you, the same people that was talking bad about her, about how she's so bad for videotaping this, I bet you those are the same people that at the drop of a hat were the ones out there looting and rioting and all that kind of stuff. You out there grabbing merchandise for yourself and all that kind of stuff. Which is that's messed up. Look, I don't know if anybody has read my comments on Facebook. If you're one of my close friends that see my YouTube videos and are on my Facebook, I don't know if you've gotten the position thinking that I don't think that rioting at all is a good thing. Rioting, and I don't think looting is ever good. That's stealing of property. But rioting, there is a time and a place for rioting. Now, what I was saying is that when I was saying that it was wrong, I'm saying that it was wrong right then and there. See, these people were looking for a reason to do the things that they did. It wasn't about George Floyd, but they were using that incident to do whatever they wanted to do. Because like I said, they already had it in their minds that they were going to go to the moment they had an opportunity, they were going to go to a store and take merchandise, things that they were looking at, things that they wanted, or they found an opportunity or the opportunity would be is that they would take the stuff and then go ahead and turn around and sell it themselves and make profit off of those items, and that's wrong. So the looting part of it, there's no justification for that whatsoever. Okay, but the rioting, this is where y'all have gotten your priorities all mixed up, and the first of all, the rioting for the most part was not done in the name of George Floyd. It was done in the name of self-interests and the need to cause trouble. Okay, that is an unhealthy spirit. That is an evil spirit that has driven people to doing stuff like that. But like I'm saying, there is a time for rioting, but this time right now is not the time for rioting. See, we got to get these people in the courtroom and get them convicted, get them charged. Okay, and like I was saying before, yeah, you can get mad, but before you start going on rioting, make sure that you exhaust all of your options before doing that. The rioting part, that should be the very last thing that you should do, after everything else fails. I mean, you need to like I said, if you want things to change, rioting is not going to get change. Rioting alone and protesting alone, even looting alone, is not going to change the current situation. I mean, look at our history. We've had riots all throughout our history, especially when it came to police injustice and brutality. We've had riots, but if you notice, the police beatings and the police killings are still happening, and so it turns into a cycle. The police kill, we all go out and start rioting and destroying stuff. They go and, things calm down, they kill again. You get all mad and upset and you start to riot and all that kind of stuff. So, at this stage in time, rioting is not the right thing to do, okay? Protesting is better, but, actually protesting is good at this time because, you're letting your voice be heard. Trust me, these people hear you, okay? But the reason why things are not getting done is because you don't have the right people in office that will make the change. Okay, the shenanigans that went on all last week, that would be the first choice or the first option is to riot and loot and all that kind of stuff. That's for those people who live in civilizations that don't have a structure such as what we have here in America. Okay. But we have a structure. We have a structure of law and regulations, okay? And so what the people had failed to do, which is, a bunch of them was black. There was a bunch of white ones there too, all races. But the thing is, what y'all failed to do was you failed to use the system the way that it's supposed to be. Y'all are quick to say, the system is made to entrap and snare the black man, the brown man, the whatever man. But the truth of the matter is that it's your lack of knowledge of the system, which is the reason why that you get railroaded in the court system, and you get put into the jail system and stuff like that. But if you learn the system or pay for a lawyer, an attorney to help you through the system, a good attorney, then it's you can get things done. But the thing that this is the only thing that alone will make change is that you got to have somebody in office or in a leadership position that will recognize what's going on and make the change. Okay, so Protesting, yes, protesting is a good tool to use because your voice is being heard, and like I said, they do hear your voice. The reason why things don't get changed is because you don't have the right person in that is willing to make the change, because they do have the power for that. But they hear your voice. A lot of times, the reason why things aren't changing is because they choose to disregard your voice. And why is that? Because we, as a collective group, do not, in this day and age, we rarely ever use impeachments. For those people who are elected officials, if they're not doing the job that they're supposed to do and you are unhappy about it, don't wait until their term is over. You have an impeachment process that you can use to get them out of office right now. Okay? But these people are in office and they have all this prestige and power and all that kind of stuff, and they walk around acting like gods because you bow down and cower to them, because you're thinking that they are above you, and really they are actually beneath you because they are servants. Okay, they are public servants. A public servant is not in a high position. A public servant is in a low position. Okay, but we have been brainwashed to look at them in a high position. So essentially, what we have done is that we have raised them up above us. Okay, and that's why they act the way that they act, is because we have given them, we have placed them on a pedestal. We have placed them in God status, and so they start assuming the role of God, even though that they are considered servants. Now, if they are servants, who are they serving? Who are they supposed to serve? Well, the way the system was set up was that they are to serve the public. They are to serve the common man. They are to serve you and me. But yet, what they are doing is that they are asserting the power that we gave to them, and they're using it against us. And that's how they have been elevated up above us. Okay? That's how that happens. But if you send the message of, if you don't correct this, we're going to boot you out of office. Okay? And they will listen to that, and they will make a move on that, because they don't want to lose the power that comes with the position that they have. They don't want to lose the money. They don't want to lose the perks. There's plenty of opportunity that comes with these positions. Okay? But if you collectively, as a group, tell these people enough is enough, you know what's going on. If we see it, we know that you see it. So you better do something about it. And if you can't do anything about it, or you won't do anything about it, you might as well go ahead and pack up your office right now, because we are going to take you out of office. Now, if it's a leadership position that's not an elected position, you have the option of petitions. If you get enough people to petition, then you can have some power back in you to remove somebody from a leadership position. But here's the thing: if you are somebody who is constantly flapping your gums about how a person in leadership is not doing their job, then you have a couple of options. You need to find yourself somebody who is willing and capable of effectively holding that position, or you need to go and file the necessary paperwork to put your name on a special election ballot and try to get yourself elected into that office so that you can do the job that you say that needs to be done. Okay? Now, it's starting to get hot in here. So now, the other thing, I saw a news clip on, I forget George's brother's name, but Mr. Floyd, who's the brother of George Floyd, I saw a news clip of him, and he was basically stating the same thing. He's saying, he was pretty much saying, that he's not out here looting and rioting and stuff like that. Of course, he's upset because the police killed his brother, but he did make some good points where he's telling them, stop the rioting, stop the looting. That does not honor George. and all the rest of them that had fallen into the hands of law enforcement. Okay, he says stop all that. He says that's not going to work. And I'm running out of time here, so I'm gonna just wrap this up. So I might do another video on this soon, but anyways, just let it play out now. They do need to get them other officers arrested, and they need to be charged as well. But for right now, they got that one. But let's push to have all the rest of them charged, arrested, and charged, and also charged to the fullest extent. I understand that he's got third-degree murder, which is like the low level of murder on the totem pole. You know, let's get it higher. Let's put the pressure out there on him, get it higher, if it hasn't been done already. I hadn't checked the news lately, but anyways, I want y'all to stay safe. If you're going to protest peacefully. Be aware of your surroundings. Look at anybody that is suspicious. Okay, if you see anybody that's being suspicious, like you're looking and they look like they're about to cause some trouble, and it's a peaceful organization, you need to let the law enforcement know right away that this person here is about to do some harm. Okay, but y'all be safe. Stay off the damn freeways and protest peaceably. I'm out.